Welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton, and we are talking about soundtracks for the month of August. And I know I talked about this album back in my Guitar Heroes month. When was that? June? Was that June? That was so long ago. We're going to talk about the soundtrack. We're going to talk about it. Tommy, the movie. Largely credited to The Who, but there were several people that contributed to this. That's why we're going to talk about it a little bit. It was released in March of 1975, the Ken Russell film of the same name. It was a huge release when it came out because the original album was so huge and iconic. Of course, the original album released in 1969. Written largely by Pete Townshend, who oversaw the production of this. And it sort of brought the music. I mean, Tommy had gone through a few incarnations, and there was even a symphonic rendition. This kind of brought the music back to rock and roll. And he sort of was able to go back and revisit a lot of that by the original Tommy album was the basic four-piece Who band. And so Pete always wanted some orchestrations, and so he did that by using synthesizer a lot, for better and for worse. It kind of dates it a little bit. There were several sessions, including different people, including Nicky Hopkins, who receives special thanks. And there were also members of the Faces on here, notably Ronnie Wood and Kenny Jones, who would later go on to replace Keith Moon. Pinball Wizard, as performed by Elton John, was a kind of a big hit. It was released as a single. And it's funny, the music on the album is actually credited to the Elton John band. From what I understand, he was, that's what he was kind of calling his group at the time, and that's who plays on it. But in the movie, if you've seen the movie, Elton John, who's the Pinball Wizard, is actually dressed as, they're the backing band. It's The Who, which is a little strange. Even though Roger Daltrey played the part of Tommy in the movie, the artist, The Who, is actually credited to Townshend, John Entwistle, and Keith Moon, no matter who sang on the track. Anne Margaret, Oliver Reed on here. Like I mentioned, Elton John. In the movie as well, Eric Clapton, Keith Moon plays Uncle Ernie. Paul Nicholas, there's Paul Nicholas again, always showing up. Jack Nicholson, funny enough. Robert Powell, Pete Townshend actually performs on here. And of course, Tina Turner as the Acid Queen in a sequence that disturbed me very, very much when I was a young child, having to see that. The Who actually is pretty much the basic band on all there, but the vocalists varied depending on what character they were in the movie. It's dated. This is very much a 1975 timepiece. Probably doesn't live up to the hype or promise. It in no way comes close to replacing the fire of the original recording. So it's a curio more than anything. But it is what it is. So Tommy, the soundtrack to the film by The Who. Today's Daily Record. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. Let me know what you think about Tommy, the movie, the soundtrack to the movie. In the meantime, I'll see you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.